Hey, just like how pulling off a 1 versus 5 clutch in a game feels insanely epic, some generals in history turned really impossible situations into wins. And no, they didn't just increase their army size and go rush B. Today, I'm going to tell you about the most absurd, most pro, most big-brain war strategies in history. Wait a second. Is Hannibal crossing the Alps with elephants crazier, or is the Trojan horse, which has been making people say, "Who even came up with this?" for 3,000 years, the real masterpiece? Let's begin. Spoiler. Both made the list, but one of them is way more troll. 1. The Trojan horse. The original catfish strategy. Let's start with the classic, the Trojan horse. 12th century BC. The Greeks have been besieging Troy for 10 years. 10 years! They basically waited long enough to binge-watch an entire Netflix series. Finally, Odysseus, the first true big-brain player in history, thinks, "Guys, instead of breaking down these gates, what if we made them open the gates for us?" So what does he do? He builds a giant wooden horse, stuffs soldiers inside it, and then pretends the entire army has retreated, leaving the horse behind as a gift. The Trojans look at it and go, "Wow, a huge horse. Let's bring it into the city. It'll look great on Instagram." At night, the soldiers climb out of the horse, open the gates, and GG, WP. Troy is destroyed. Pro tactic summary. Exploit your enemy's greed. People click on free content, the only truth that hasn't changed in 3,000 years. This strategy is so legendary that we still call computer malware Trojans. Literally the first social engineering attack in history. 2. Hannibal's Alp crossing, the impossible parkour. Next up is what might be history's craziest speedrun attempt, Hannibal crossing the Alps. 218 BC, the Second Punic War. Hannibal wants to hit the Romans, but there's a problem. The Mediterranean Sea is in between, and Rome's navy is OP. A normal person would say, "Let's go by ships." Hannibal says, "Let's go through the mountains, with elephants." The man crosses the Alps with 38 elephants, 50,000 soldiers, and tons of horses. In winter, the Romans are waiting in the south, and Hannibal drops in from the north like, "Surprise, motherfucker." The Romans are in shock. They have no strategy because no one ever thought, "Yeah, elephants might cross the mountains." This is a perfect example of beating your enemy's imagination. Pro tactic summary. Break the meta. When everyone expects one thing, do something completely different. But be careful. Most of Hannibal's elephants died on the way. High risk, high reward. Fun fact, this tactic is so legendary that it's still taught in modern military academies. The course called Creative Logistics is literally built around this. 3. Alexander the Great's phalanx plus mobility combo. Alexander the Great, the guy who started the original OP character debate in history. His strategy was basically a tank plus assassin hybrid build. Here's the setup. The Macedonian phalanx, a wall of long-speared soldiers, stands in front like a tank. Once the enemy gets stuck on the phalanx, Alexander hits them from the side or back with cavalry. This worked perfectly at the Battle of Gaugamela, 331 BC. The Persian king Darius had an army 5 times larger. Alexander looked at that and basically said, "Numbers don't matter, timing does." While the phalanx keeps the enemy busy, Alexander finds a weak point and dives straight in. Darius panics, runs away. GG. Pro tactic summary. Distraction plus flanking equals the oldest bait and switch tactic in warfare. One pulls aggro, you drop the nuke. But here's the real pro move. Alexander fought on the front lines in every battle. He was wounded 9 times. The guy was the definition of lead by example. The soldiers were like, "Boss is dying for us, we'll die for him." Morale boost, 1000%. See? The most pro strategies in history are actually built on knowledge, creativity, and psychology. Trojan horse, social engineering. Hannibal, unexpected routes. Alexander, combo attacks and leadership. All of these tactics are still used today, in games, in business, and even in everyday life. Now a question for you. Which strategy is your favorite? The troll energy of the Trojan horse, or the absolute madness of Hannibal? Let's talk about it in the comments.